Central Arena. Steve Foxcroft along with Clint O'Neill. And to my right, Bob Williamson, coach of the Aldershot Aces. You'd like to be here in a different capacity.
Well, Steve, that's right. If it wasn't for a little unfortunate luck in the overtime game last Thursday, the Aces would be here today. But unfortunately for us, and fortunately for Aquinas, they won the game in overtime. They're here, and I think they're ready to play today.
Back just after Christmas on Halton Sports Week, I called the Aquinas Raiders as the sleeper team to beat here in Halton, and what do you know, they make the finals, Bubs, against MM Robinson, who's been tough throughout the season.
MM Robinson in that Richardson division has certainly dominated the likes of every team in the Richardson division. They had an easy time of it in the semi-final game against Notre Dame, who upset the three-time defending champion Nelson Flames. But they're ready to play, and you remember, this is the same team we saw in the Halton Championship last year that lost a close decision to the Nelson Flames. The St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders, well, what a Cinderella playoff season they have had. 2 overtime performances, one seen on the cable net cameras, one against Pearson and one against the Aldershot Aces, the Czars team. Both teams, and it's been a very emotional time for the St. Thomas Aquinas Raider. They're on the heels of their first major Halton Championship.
Special live coverage here of the Halton High School Hockey Final on TV 23. You're looking live at Central Arena. We're moments away from starting. And the Czar, Bob Williamson, as he liked to be called, one of the controversies for the MM Robinson Rams is the starting goaltender. Tell us about that story.
Well, I think, I don't know that it's much of a controversy. I mean, MM Robinson has 2 very fine quality goaltenders in Ron Mays and Craig Goodchild. The coaches all season, as we've seen them in tournament play and league play all year, they've rotated them a fair bit this year, giving each of them a pretty equal share. I talked to Leo yesterday. He's going with Craig Goodchild. He was outstanding in the semifinal game against Notre Dame, particularly in the first period. And I think he just wants to go with what he feels is the hot hand today.
Going with the hot hand. We're just moments away from starting. And a very important decision, Bubs. How do you look at it?
For the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders or the MM Robinson?
For the Rams.
For the Rams. Well, you know, I seen the likes of Goodchild in that in the semifinal game, and he was brilliant. But I didn't think he saw the amount of shots that he might see this afternoon from the likes of the Fruities and the Stadolas of the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders. Ron Mays, who was the netminder last season in the Halton Final, has the experience, but Goodchild, as Bob said, carrying the hot hand.
The fans are cranked. A packed house as expected. The drum is beating for MM Robinson. Let's go to the public address announcer for the starting lineup.
St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders. Would you please stand for our national anthem? Shake hands.
We're almost set to go here as the teams will shake hands before the game, Bubs.
Well, you remember the incident last season. We won't want to touch on it too much, but the likes of the MM Robinson Rams and the Nelson Flames, they didn't like each other at the end of the game.
Two people to watch for the Aquinas Raiders are the twin brothers, John and Ed Stadola. Coach Williamson, how do you look at this pairing?
Well, they are two very talented individuals. They may not appear to be the most graceful or powerful type skaters out there, but they are very, very effective, particularly in the offensive zone. I think Robinson today is going to
Introducing
have
the
to
starting lineups for this
play
afternoon's
a very
game.
strong transition game to nullify these two
Raiders.
individuals.
In goal, Mike Bush. On defense, John Stradola. Also on defense, Dave Walsh. At center, Mario Sarek. On left wing, Kenny Jacome. On right wing, Morgan Keating. For the Robinson Rams, in goal, Craig Goodchild. On defense, Tim Labanich and Brent McMillan. At center, Craig Northcott. On right wing, Morgan Aspen. And on left wing, Willie Perry.
Steve, when you take a look at these teams, the St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders, the secret to success is they must be physical. They have been extremely physical in the game against Aldershot and Pearson. They have to throw their weight around and almost to the style intimidate the Rams. The Rams, they like to skate. They can pass. They can do it all. The Raiders have an uphill battle. Can they hold on?
Phil Jones is our official. He's set to go. And action will be underway in 1 moment from now. Here's Clint Bubba O'Neill. You can hardly hear yourself think here at Central Arena. Welcome to the Halton Hockey Championship live on TV 23.
Northcott and Sarek had the honors of doing the face-off, and Northcott wins the draw. The big defenseman for the Rams, Labanich, all the way up ice to Aspen. Aspen lost the puck, and Labanich will double back to center ice. Brent McMillan looking for Northcott, who dumps the puck in, and he is hit hard by John Stadola. The puck is centered in front, and we may have a penalty in the early going. Walsh is hurt for the Raiders. He is limping off the ice.
And it didn't take long for Phil Jones to call a penalty. The Czar, you called that.
Well, Phil is well known in Halton High School hockey for setting a tone of a game very in the early going, and it doesn't surprise me that he called a penalty early on. He's had a bit of a battle with Coach McAdam and the MM coaching staff all season, and it looks like our good friend Mr. Jones is carrying on his usual tradition.
Jacob Fuller, Ed Stadola, and Rob Petrilli, the line on the power play that is out. Here is Stadola, goal scorer in overtime. Over the blue line, settling in, and the puck is
MMR penalty
wiped away
number
by
8,
Scott
2
Campbell.
minutes for interference.
Labanich taking Keating, actually will change that. Fuller into the boards, loose puck from behind the net. Labanich has the puck, bounce off it, they jam out a river, they score! It was scored by Ed Stadola! 1-0 Aquinas! The loose puck, it looked innocent, laid in between Goodchild's pads. Stadola was the only man who saw it.
Well, here the puck will eventually come out in front, and it'll go off Craig Goodchild's pad, and then the loose puck trickles over to the Aquinas player, and it's a very easy backhand, just dump it in the wide open net. Craig Goodchild never picked up the rebound. He made the initial first save, but couldn't quite find out where the rebound went to.
I bet you can light a cigar off of McAdam's forehead. A power play marker, and Aquinas leads 1-0. Ed Stadola gets him on the board. He scored the last 2 goals for the Aquinas Raiders this season.
Fuller gets taken hard into the boards, and the Rams come flying back, led by Campbell. Campbell sidestepping Fruity, but he lost control of the puck, and he was nailed by Allman.
And
penalty on the play once again, and the Raiders will go back to the power play. This time,
And Stadola, assisted by number 17, John Stadola.
it's number 23. We will see time in the box, and we don't have a number there, Steve. On who that is for the Rams. So back to the power play go the Aquinas Raiders.
An elbowing call against the Rams. Brother John Stadola got the assist on the first Aquinas goal, and here they are with another opportunity.
Here is Stadola with the puck right now over his own blue line, center ice line, fans on his clearing shot, and it's come back Northcott. Had it stick checked away from him by Petrilli. Stadola settling in.
Penalty to number 23, Andy Gillies. 2 minutes for elbowing time.
Trying to clear the puck is Campbell off the boards and down the ice.
Andy Gillies was the guy who got
stolen by Northcott in on goal. Oh, Bush! Bush with the toe save.
Great toe save.
Gillies was the guy who got the penalty for the Rams, but a great save in there close by Mike Bush on the MM's first good scoring opportunity in this game. Remember, virtually they played the entire first period shorthanded to this point, and as the puck goes off the glass, it's ruled out of play and we'll have a face-off.
Aquinas very fortunate there because back in the other semifinal between MM Robinson and Notre Dame, Craig Northcott scored a very big goal in that game. It was a shorthanded goal, and there he was, a perfect opportunity again, and if without a fantastic save on the part of the Aquinas goalie, this game would be tied.
Keating tried to put the puck right in front, and Goodchild felt the threat and will hold on for the draw.
Well, the initial few minutes are over, Clint. Everyone's blood pressure seems to be coming back down to normal, and it's important for the Rams to take a deep breath and gain their control here and kill the remainder of this penalty and settle into a good disciplined style of game, which we've seen them play so often this year.
Face off a draw and slapped all the way down the ice. 47 seconds remaining in the Aquinas power play. Puck stolen in there by Aspen. Aspen falls down on the play as he ran into the likes of Stadola. Here comes Morgan Keating. He's poke-checked away by Lebanich, and Lebanich will carry the puck. Oh my! Lebanich is a big man, and the likes of John Stadola set him down. Fruity. And now we will have a penalty on the play to the Aquinas Raiders. Morgan Keating will set time in the penalty box, and with 22 seconds left in the MM penalty, the Rams will then go on the power play.
Well, that happened away from the play, Clint. Just after John Stadola rocked Lebanowicz, Morgan Keating dropped another Ram at the far side. Referee Jones was right there to see it, and the Raiders will nullify their power play with that penalty taken by Keating.
St. Thomas penalty, number 11, Morgan Keating, 2 minutes for interference.
So Keating gets interference, and they'll go for a side.
Back to the point, and it's upset by Aspen, and he lost the puck, and it'll leave the zone. Lebanich. Northcott into the boards. Getting away from one. Northcott almost tripped up in there by Stadola. Down deep in the corner, Stadola and Northcott body check each other. And a face-off is going to be issued to the left-hand side of Mike Bush.
I think an interesting fact here that the Robinson players are going to learn very quickly, because they have not seen or played this Aquinas team at all this year, and that is the underestimated strength and agility of the Stadola brothers.
Oh. Both of them are being looked at by U.S. schools, and in the classroom they're equally as tough. Clint with 95% scores on their SATs. Look for them to do big things.
Willie Perry carrying the puck from end to end, and he lost it. Right in front, Aspen had a chance. Oh, and cutting deeply in front of the net was John Stadola, and he cleared the puck down the ice.
Stadola playing with a lot of confidence right now, carrying that puck right in front of his own net.
Lebanich tried to hit Northcott. It bounced off his stick, and Stadola will slap it back to center ice. Lebanich almost had the puck stolen from him by Ed Stadola. Cowburn takes a hit. He'll give chase. Stadola turns around. Cowburn gives him a hit from behind. Fruity tries to hold the puck against the boards, and he will get a face-off.
Coach McAdam and Romeo for the Rams. They're going to send out Craig Northcott, Morgan Aspen, and Willie Perry a lot this game. They're the big gunners for the Rams. They've been doing it all year for them. And there's a look at Craig Northcott, one of the top snipers for these MM Robinson Rams. Dan Calburn and the captain, Tim Lebanich.
Oh my, a big save by Bush on the quick shot. Morgan Aspen on that drive. Down deep in the corners, they fight for puck possession. Lebanich takes a shot from the point. Here's Aspen, he got confused with it. Jacome tried to clear it, he didn't leave the zone. Willie Perry with the puck now, being right in front. Perry with it, still skating, trying to go to the other side. Perry looking at his options, drops the puck in there for Calburn. Back to the point. And now Calburn had it bounce off his skate. Everyone back to even strength. Loose puck right in front. And it's cleared back into the corner. Sarek took a swipe at it and he lost control of it. It's still at the point. And now Keating breaks away. Looking for Jacome and it bounced over his stick. Lebanich for the Rams. Hard cut from behind the net. Lost control. Gives an elbow to Keating. And Lebanich will double back. He has time now with 4. Change at 9:27 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Aquinas, and Bush holds on.
I think if it'll be interesting to see as this game progresses, how much ice time will the Stodola brothers log for Aquinas, and how long will they remain an effective force for this team? It's a long hockey game, 3 15-minute stop time periods, and against a Robinson team that has good size, good speed, they like to play the body just as much as Aquinas. I'll be interested to see how long these boys last.
Loose puck sent back to the point. Johnson a drive deflected. Oh, that one just went wide. That's Stodola with the puck. He likes to carry it from line to line. Here he comes once again. He's tripped up. No penalty on the play. Jeff Johnson took him down. And here's Johnson right now with the puck over his own blue line, over the center ice lines. In a ramble move, and he dumps it in. Down low are the Rams with the puck. Bush again will hold on. Had some pushing and shoving with Frank Fruity and Craig Silva.
One thing I've noticed a lot from these Aquinas Raiders this year, Clint, they play with a lot of sportsmanship. They play hard to the whistle, and then they seem to skate away. But I'm sure as this championship goes along, there'll be a few fisticuffs, a few dances.
Bob, you made a statement to me about the Raiders that they play an almost awkward style of hockey. The Rams seem to having a little bit of difficulty solving that.
Well, it was difficult for us, and MM Robinson's very much a team that goes right for the heart of the goal, offensive, right to the net, and the Aquinas players are throwing them off of their game a little bit, I sense.
Darren Campbell puts it right in front, and a shot by Bolton. Hit a skate in front. Here is Stodola trying to clear the puck. It does leave the zone, and Lebanich slaps it right back in. Anger will have to get out of the zone. He does, and here comes John Stodola. Flip pass to Kenny Jacome. He can't reach it. Oh, and he sidesteps the likes of Lebanich from behind the net. Stolen in there by Jacome, and he's sent down in a hurry. Aquinas with the puck down low. Mario Sarek, the captain of this team, takes a body check by Lebanich, and breaking away are the Rams. Here comes Matt Anger, and Matt Anger lost control of the puck and a drop pass to McMillan. He never connected. Loose puck kept in once again by Bolton, and he lost it as Lebanich took a run at Sarek, and Sarek has Keating. He uses Keating. A shot. Goodchild. Oh, Goodchild picked that off. Oh, Goodchild picked that off with the... Oh my.
An outstanding save. Watch the Raiders sit back and try and take advantage of their mistakes. 2-on-1, a beautiful pass, quick shot. Goodchild there to make the save. There he is. Craig Goodchild got the start and showed everyone in Halton the reason why with a save like that.
Northcott wins the draw. The Rams issue control, and here is Aspen off the boards to center ice, and he missed Northcott. Fruity banks one off the boards, and here comes Big Stadola drop pass. Oh, and picked off by Aspen. Aspen has it stolen from him.
3-on-1.
Here come the Raiders. A backhand right in front, deflected. Goodsell put the pad down and kept it out of the net. Madness in front of the Ram net. All the way back down the other side of the quarters, and Fruity and Perry collide. Northcott just missed the deflection there. Oh, Northcott sent Petrilli right into the boards. Face first. Puck stolen by Jacome. He tried to clear it in front, and Northcott was looming in that slot area. There's a lot of holding and clutching and grabbing there. Here's Northcott in front. Oh, and a drive! And he hits someone in front. A drive, they score! Morgan Aspen picked up the rebound. The Rams now on the board.
Well, there's a situation where Aquinas could not effectively control the puck deep in their own zone. Couldn't clear it. Here's Northcott picking up for a shot, a block shot. Comes out, another block shot. And Morgan Aspen picked up that rebound right in the short slot and buried it in the inside of the glove hand of the Aquinas goalie. Made no mistake with that shot. I mean, they had about 2 or 3 shot opportunities and cashed in with the last one.
Scotty Campbell with the puck. Sarek was pressing. Here's Keating. He stole it. Keating drop pass picked off. Rocky Florio sends a puck in on Bush. He holds on.
Well, Clint, after the first 4 minutes, when the Rams seem to be untracked, they've settled down.
Morgan Aspen, assisted by number 7, Craig Northcott, and number 3, Dan Calburn. Time 6:32.
Well, they gave the assist to Northcott and Calburn, but I gave it to Scotty Campbell, who originally let go from the top of the slot with the drive before Aspen picked it up and put it behind Bush.
Johnson, and Keating was looking for that loose puck once again. Lobanich. Lots of skating room for Timmy Lobanich. Over the center ice line, into Aquinas territory, escapes it. Here's Lobanich, and it's drop pass to Johnson. A quick shot. Oh, that one just went wide. And they were looking for the deflection in front, and Johnson just wanted to put it on net.
I think that shot was partially tipped by Rocky Florio as it went in. That was a very tough shot to try and react to on the part of the Aquinas goaltender.
Coach, I think those are the kind of shots you gotta love to see when you're behind the bench. Good low, hard shot. Can go anywhere.
Absolutely, that's what you want from your defenseman. Good low, hard shots, good for tipping. Bounce off a leg, a skate, anything can happen when it gets in front of the net.
Silva wins the draw, puts it back to Johnson. They all have a swipe at it. It ends up back in the Ram zone where Tim Lobanich looms with a long pass. Rocky Florio taken into the boards, puts it right on a backhand on a stick of Greg Silva. They all bump and collide, and here come the Raiders. Oh, and a double body check applied there. Stadola picked up the loose puck and lost it. He applies pressure on to Lobanich and pulls him down. Silva will break away. Long lead pass for Florio. He can't hold on. The Raiders having problems clearing their own zone at this point of the game. John Stadola dumps it in, and here come the forecheckers. Lobanich will have to clear. Fuller lost it. Keating looking, walking in the interior ice, a quick shot, and that was easily dealt with. Goodchild. Here's Keating in front. Oh, Lobanich had to make a great stop by sliding, or the puck would have ended up on the stick of Petrilli in the slot. Long lead pass for Campbell, and icing is called.
Keating showing some good moves that time, also some good acceleration as he hit the blue line. Found that none of the Rams defense was coming out to take him, so he slipped in and got a nice shot away. Goodchild steered it to the corner with his blocker. And an icing call brings the face-off down to the Rams' end.
I think he was a little surprised he had that much room coming over the blue line to get that shot away.
And Keating, of course, doesn't need an invitation to let him fly.
No, he's scored quite a bit of number of goals for Aquinas this season.
Loose puck, Jacome puts it in the corner. Sarek sidesteps a hit, and the puck is stolen by McMillan. He dumps it out of his own zone. Bush clears it off the boards to Kenny Jacome. Jacome lost it. Zarek will have to go back into his own zone. He takes a stiff body check by Perry. Almond back to center ice. Rams with control. Campbell send it back into his own zone. And on the delayed offside, the Rams will send in Campbell to forecheck. Frank Fruity with the puck. Slow and deliberate. Long pass for Jacome, who couldn't reach it off the boards. 3:43 remaining in period one. You're watching the Halton Championship live here on TV 23. And Jeff Allman made up for arrears there as he almost lost the puck at the blue line. Rams seem to have found something, and they dump the puck right back in. Allman off the boards for Keating. He can't get to it. Northcott take it into the board, spinning and turning, puts it right in front. And Fruity couldn't clear the puck. Fuller applying pressure onto the likes of Campbell, and Campbell got rid of it. Down the ice they go once again. Oh, puck stolen. Drop pass for Northcott. He couldn't reach it. And Aspen controls the puck. Fruity banks one off the board. Here comes Northcott. Northcott, backhand. Oh, Bush got a pad on it. It's still loose. They shoot. Oh, it's batted away out of the net. Unbelievable action. And Stadola will clear the zone. Mike Bush was ambushed in his own net. Oh, and down goes a Ram hard. Stadola walking over the blue line. He means business. He's taken down by two Rams. Labanich comes back the other way. Labanich looking, and he'll just dump. Oh, and he ran into Ed Stadola. And Ed Stadola ended up the short end of that one. Long drive deflection. Shot wide in there by Campbell. Labanich sends it right back down deep. Here's a quick shot, and the glove hand of Mike Bush will hold on and we'll get a draw.
Well, action at both ends, north-south action playing all the way there. Some big, heavy hits on both sides. Labanowitz and Stadola connected right in front of the Raiders bench, and I couldn't believe it that both of them didn't go down. Stadola got the worst of that exchange. Here's a look at it again. Right there. Stadola went down, then they came back the other end and went at it again.
Yeah, Timmy Labanich got him with his head down just as he
quick
crossed
shot,
the blue line.
right on Bush. Wow.
Also on that last exchange, Clint, Morgan Aspen had a great chance in front, but just couldn't finish. Bush.
There was a defenseman there that batted that puck out of the net.
There's an interesting trend, though. If you watch closely, the Northcott line is on the ice when neither one of the two Stadola brothers is out there. So obviously, the Robinson coaching staff is cued into the ability of these two guys.
Well, Northcott, one of the leading scorers in Halton, leading scorer in the Rams. Oh, it's score! Oh, Barry Anderson! Barry Anderson found the short side corner. And the Rams lead 2-1.
Watch the quick release here. Number 9 from MM Robinson. Just boom, quick wrist shot right over the shoulder of the Aquinas goaltender. I don't think he saw it until right at the last possible moment.
Well, in the Olympics, you saw Peter Nedved and Paul Correa go high, glove side over the Swedish goaltender in the first shootout. And Barry Anderson went high, glove side right there in the Rams.
Well, MM is very much a team of momentum. If they sense something building here, you watch, they'll start turning on, pick up the tempo and the pace of this game, and they'll really pour it on in the Aquinas end of the ice.
Purdy banks one off the boards, and Stadola will end up with it. Looking for Fuller. Fuller was all tied up. Fuller with it, and an offside is called.
I think the key so far as we wind down with 1:25 to go here in the first period has been Aquinas giveaways in their own zone, Bob.
Well, failure to effectively control the puck deep in their own zone and start moving it out has been one of their problems, and they had a couple of chances, had the Rams disorganized a little bit, couldn't take advantage of one or two of those things, and of those type of chances, and now they're behind in the game, and they're going to have to go back to their game plan.
A swipe taken at it by Petrilli, and the puck will be back again deep in Raiders zone. This is where they've had problems. 2 men on the man trying to carry the puck out of the own zone seems to be the medicine for the Rams at attacking the Raiders. Kept in by Petrilli. Loose puck down deep. Slapped that. Fruity was there. He'll send it right back. Dan Calburn. Dave Bolton. He tried to clear the puck. And we've got a whistle on the play. Actually, I heard another whistle. Loose puck. It's still loose.
How can you hear a whistle when
And
there's
Dan
drums and
Calburn, I heard
bands?
another whistle, and down goes Ed Stadola at center ice.
And Stadola may take a standing 8 count after this hit, Clint. Twice he has gone to the face and neck area in this period. The first time, referee Jones ignored it, and it looks like there's not going to be a call this time either.
No, it looks like referee Jones has lost his whistle. I think he caught a stick on this. Earlier it was a stick up in the neck area.
Well, let's take a look.
There he is.
Well,
Going for a puck in open ice and caught an inadvertent stick in the mids right there.
You just saw it on your screen there. Definitely a little jab
And,
from one of the Rams.
I think referee Jones was on the opposite side of the ice, and obviously
That's tough to see.
it is very difficult to see because you're blocked out by the Aquinas player and the Robinson players as well. So it's if he was on this side of the ice, he probably would have seen that and made a call.
And how can you look at that when you're one guy and you got to keep an eye on 10 skaters out there over a big ice surface like this? Very difficult to see.
Well, officiating is a difficult job, as you know.
I sure do. And Phil Jones, though, one thing you could question maybe, as Stadola is up, he gazes over to the Rams bench, and the Raider fans like that, and they show their approval. But Jones calls a couple of penalties in the first few shifts, as you called even before we went on the air, but then there's been a lot of stuff happen since then, and we haven't seen anything called.
No, he'll do that. That's the sort of pattern that he has. He'll let him play for a while, let him take a few liberties. He might clamp down a little later in the second period, and we'll go back to it. It's kind of like an ebb and flow to the way he calls the game.
under 20 seconds remaining in period number 1. Labanich, being watched closely by Keating, will carry the puck out. Oh, he ran into Kenny Jacome. Here's Keating forechecking nicely, and Northcock breaks the zone. 1 second remaining, a shot, that's wide. And period number 1 is over of the 1994 Halton High School final. The Rams looking to avenge last year's loss. Lead 2-1.
You're watching TV 23, continuing coverage of Halton High School sports. Live from Central Arena. We'll go back to our studios on Siscon Road and be back with more live hockey action in a short time. Stay with us.
At Participaction, we're seeing how activity can be a family tradition for the fun of it and more.
Sometimes things can just seem so stressful and out of context, and just taking a walk in the woods brings it all back down to earth for you, like what really is important. I want to instill some of the love of nature that my mother instilled in our family and carry that through.
Active living from generation to generation, moving your way every day. Participaction.
Welcome back to the Halton High School Hockey Final from Central Arena, live here on TV 23. Steve Foxcroft, along with Clint Bubba O'Neill and the czar, Bob Williamson, the coach of the Aldershot Aces, who would love dearly to have his team playing in this game. 2-1 our score after one period of play. And gentlemen, an interesting period where the Rams got down early, czar, but then fought back and they lead 2-1. How do you see it?
Well, again, the first period is a period of adjustment for the Rams. They've not seen Aquinas. Their style of play, try and cause turnovers deep in their zone, in the Robinson zone, a little unorthodox in terms of their skating style, their style of offense, and I think it really threw the Rams off for a good portion of that first period. They caught a couple of breaks. The Aquinas defenders, whether they're defensemen or forwards, do an outstanding job of blocking shots, blocking passes, and that was evident on the first Robinson goal, where they had two separate scoring and shooting opportunities blocked by Aquinas defenders before that third opportunity went in the net. And then the second goal was just a great shot, beat a fine goaltender, wicked wrist shot, much like Wendell Clark type, high over the shoulder of the goaltender, and it's 2-1. And I think it's going to be very tough for Aquinas to come back. I sense momentum building with Robinson. The guys they really have to lean on are going to be more tired as this game progresses, and it's going to be that much more difficult for them here in the second period.
One of the things that Aquinas has to do is be better in their own zone, get the puck out of their own zone. John and Ed Stadola have been the most effective carrying the puck out of their end. What can they do? Are the Rams forcing them to turn over the puck in their own zone?
Well, the Rams were beating them late in the first period in terms of getting to the puck first in their zone. They weren't able to combat the Rams' speed of their game, of their skaters. They're stronger, a little more powerful, a little faster skating skills on the Robinson team. I think Aquinas, you'll see, try and flip out, dump out, get the puck out of their zone any way they can, get it up into neutral ice, and try and cause another turnover. I mean, late in that first period, there was one session where the puck must have hit 3 or 4 different Ram players, and nobody really seemed to know what they were doing with the puck, and it was all because of the forechecking of the Aquinas forwards.
Coach, you mentioned something, you pointed out something to us from a coaching perspective. What the Rams did, they juggled their lines a little bit. They had Northcott out there with Stadola and that, then they flip-flop. Explain that to us. Tell the folks at home what they're doing there.
Well, obviously, with the Stadola brothers being the offensive threat or the offensive power of this Aquinas team, they control the puck very, very well when they're on the ice. And Craig Northcott's line is the power behind MM Robinson. It's not the only power, but it's their top gunning line, as you mentioned earlier. So obviously they're just going to try and match up strength against weakness, or keep their strength away from Aquinas' offensive strength. And that's really, I said, they're probably going to do that again this period. I would if I were them. I mean, it's a game of who scores more goals in a given time period, and Robinson has the firepower, so why not use it to their best advantage?
Now, will that then make it a goaltender's battle, a defensive match up the two defenses then and the goaltenders? What does that do?
Well, I give the clear edge to Robinson here because they'll put on their best checking line against the Stadola brothers, and as long as they don't take silly penalties, and it's hard to know exactly what our referee's going to do in the remainder of the game, because he seemed to set a tone early in the game and then put his whistle in his pocket towards the latter half of that first period, when perhaps a couple of calls could have been made. And then it's going to be a situation of how well does the team react to adversity, being down a man or taking an unwise penalty, and perhaps a goal being scored because of that.
John and Ed Stadola carry a lot of the load for these Aquinas Raiders. If MM matches up with them, like you say, and tries to take them out of the game as much as possible, a couple of guys will have to step forward, Bubs. Mario Sarek, some say the best two-way player on the team. And he's a big guy, roams up and down the center ice position. He's 6'1" tall, and there you see the Raider fans waving that skull and crossbones, hoping to spell death to the MM Robinson Rams here today. Another guy that the Raiders will have to rely on is Morgan Keating. He's the spark plug. He's always out there.
I'm telling you, Steve, in the two previous games that I've seen the Raiders play, Morgan Keating's probably had about 50 opportunities to score goals, and he's cashed in on a couple, but nonetheless, he always seems to find the open ice. And at times, we saw him earlier in the first period kind of carrying a puck over the blue line, thinking, should I pass, should I go? Decided to go, got a quick shot away. Goodchild picked it off, but he's really a key. Sarek is going to have to be the captain that he's going to have to be.
And another guy, Rob Petrilli, Clint, plays both wings, can do it all, and he's the third top scorer for the Raiders, even though he missed half this season.
Unbelievable. It's those kind of guys they're going to have to win you a championship.
Second period is moments away. Here's Clint Bubba O'Neill for the call.
Northcott and Sarek will do it all over again to start the second period. Well, the netminder, Mike Bush, complaining about something in his crease area.
He's not happy with the Zamboni work, and the flood has caused some ruts.
Now, look at this. Contrary to what we were talking about here, we have Northcott's line out there and the Stadola brothers. So this may be something for the fans. I don't know, a little showmanship or something like that. But look for some change in the second period. Once the game gets going again.
I think what you do there, or what both teams are doing, is these guys are used to starting. They probably started every shift of every period all season long. To make that change now, I think you're dealing with kids here and adolescents still. I think some of them may be a little shook up and not recognize why that change may be made at the start of a period.
Well, that's a possibility. I think you got to go with your game plan, and if you want to aggressively check their big guns, then that's what you should do. If they're out there for the opening face-off, I put my good checkers on them. And if they're not out there, then I put my top gunners out there to start this game. If you want something done in a positive sense to start any period of hockey, whether it's checking their big line or getting a scoring opportunity of your own.
The patchwork is complete. Second period underway, and once again, here's Clint Bubba O'Neill.
Puck steered away by Walsh, kept in by the Rams, and Keating got in front of that one. Ended the big shot. Lobanich will dump it right back in the Aquinas zone, and John Stadola bounces one off the boards, and it ends up going all the way down the ice, and then it stops. Oh, here comes Sarek, and Goodchild had to hold on. The puck did an anti-lock breaking job.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, Tim Lobanich works for the city of Burlington, part-time up at Mainway Arena. I think he'd probably be rather playing there than over here at Central. The ice didn't really cooperate with him there.
Look at once. Let's see that again.
A little water on the ice, the puck sort of said, whoops.
Now, don't they put the pucks in the freezer between periods?
Well, you can find a freezer here. There's the puck, and Tim was looking behind and then went to look down in the corner, and the puck wasn't there.
Bush waited. It's stolen. Backhand by Aspen, and he was taken down in a hurry. Raiders trying to break their own zone. Coming back with the puck is Willie Perry, and he's run over. He actually puts it right under the stick of Northcott, and Allman lost his stick. Here comes Aspen, right in front. Scores!
Willie Perry.
Willie Perry upstairs again. I thought it hit the crossbar.
Just underneath.
A giveaway.
He's lost his stick. Morgan Aspen to feed over to Willie Perry just underneath the crossbar. Not where they keep the peanut butter, however.
Just upstairs where Wally stays with the beef.
Rams now assuming a bit of control at 3-1. Dumped right back in by Florio. Fruity sent it around the boards.
Goal scored by number 19, Willie Perry, assisted by number 8, Morgan Ascott, and
the Raiders guilty of a couple giveaways in their own zone down deep. Here they come. Oh, a drop pass for Petrilli, and he lost it. Rams coming back. Florio lost control of it, but Johnson will pick it up off the boards. Sends it towards the net. And Keating picks up the loose puck. Keating, cross ice pass, picked off by Johnson. He comes back to center ice. And he sends it right back down. And a offside is called. Will bring it back over the Aquinas blue line.
Well, Clint, during that play coverage, you called it. Aquinas gives the puck up again in their own end, and they pay for it. A 2-on-1, and Perry goes upstairs. And the Rams now, I'd say, are comfortably in front, 3-1. That's a big edge at this stage, the way Goodchild has played when he has had to.
Keating, Sarek now with it. Sarek with it. All tied up in there with Bolton. from behind the net. Sarek trying to center it in front. They hold it against the net momentarily, and it bounces out to the boards. Mario Sarek coming back, tripped up and dumped. And Keating will move the puck going over the blue line. Keating with one move, still going to the net. Keating with a quick shot as he's pulled down. No penalty on the play. Sarek tried to jam at it. Oh, right in front, and Goodchild makes the save.
Well, we talked about Goodchild playing effectively when he's had to. And he comes out and shows us why. Some nice moves there by Keating, and as he's going down, he's still fighting for the puck. And then the Raiders come out with another chance again in front.
I'm really surprised there wasn't a tripping call or hooking call on Tim Labanich as he hauled Keating down as soon as he got to the bottom edge of the circle.
A scoring opportunity, and he was hauled down, no call.
McMillan to Aspen. Aspen just sends it back to center ice. Fruity. Everyone he fanned on his shot, and a big slap shot goes well wide of the net by McMillan. And I think we're going to have a penalty on the play. Maybe a little elbow action as Jeff Alman was sent down in a hurry down to the...
Rich Clark, one of the Robinson Ram footballers with a championship this year in the stands, cheering on his schoolmates here, going after another Halton title.
Well, Alman was sent down to the ice, but there was no penalty called on the play. Here come Fuller. Fuller with the puck in the corner. Puck is behind the net. Fuller and McMillan all tied up. Rams coming back. Aspen continuing. And oh! Great save by Bush on Northcott. And we will have a penalty on the play. The Rams will go on the power play.
Well, what happened? Ed Stadola came in and tried to finish off McMillan. McMillan and one of the Raiders had themselves tied up. Let's look at it again. And then Stadola came in and tried to finish the business that Jake Fuller started. There you see Fuller, and then Stadola came in and made it 2 against 1. And he was nailed, and it will probably be an elbowing call. And Phil Jones that time elected to call it. And the Rams will go on a power play.
Well, something's been thrown on the ice down here.
Florio, Silva, and Perry the line for the Rams. And
St. Thomas penalty, number
a
16.
roll of toilet paper.
Stadala. 2 minutes for unsports roughing, 11:36.
The ice has been littered by the disgruntled Aquinas fans.
A little Cottonelle for support.
Here's Labanich walking in a shot. Saved by Bush as he steers it aside. Stadola without a stick trying to control it with his skates. Florio comes up with it. Back to Calburn, skating in. Oh, that one crosses the crease. Labanich bounces it off the boards to Florio. Florio with it. Florio, Labanich at the line. Florio, quick shot. Stadola got in front of it, and he sent Florio down. Keating will tie up Florio. Labanich at the point. Back to Florio. Actually changed that. Back across to Calburn. And Calburn had to bounce off his skate.
John Stadola went 30 seconds without a stick there, Clint. But he was effective, knocking down Florio.
Labanich. 1:04 remaining in the power play. Up ice. Barry Anderson crumpled down. Morgan Keating coming the other way. Keating being hooked. Again, no call. Willie Perry comes back the other way to Northcott. And Northcott sends down Stadola. But Stadola still has the puck and is able to clear it down the ice.
Stadola's been out there a long, long time, Clint, but you still can't bump him off the puck. Raider fans are incensed at referee Phil Jones right now.
Bush will hold on after he fanned on the clearing pass off the boards, but I can't believe Morgan Keating has been...
I agree with Phil Jones there. Keating got He went down to the ice, but he had a little bit of Russ Courtnall in him there. More moves than United Van Lines, and he went down with virtually mosquito bite contact, Clint. There's more contact in the halls during class change.
Perry with the puck. He's got Labanich there. Labanich to Perry. Perry winding up, quick shot, save by Bush, and he'll hold on.
Excellent save by Bush, and he did an excellent job controlling the rebound there with the pad save.
He stuck the toe out, put the pad on it, and then controlled it, and hooked it home. And he looked like the Cat Fedison there, Czar.
Labanich long drive well wide of the net.
I don't know if anybody quite looks like the Cat.
Northcott from behind the net. Allman bumps into him. Stadola steals the puck and sends it up the ice. Fuller loses control of it as Aspen stick checked him.
The Raiders kill off the penalty, Clint, and keep themselves in the game, and more importantly, get the services back of Ed Stadola.
9:20 remaining. Oh, Northcott had a shot that kind of fooled Bush.
Back door.
Perry. Oh, and stepping in was Johnson, but the pass wasn't made for him. Sent down the ice. Labanich. It's Northcott. Northcott, he's got two other men. Right in front. No. Oh, Bush kept it out of the net. They score.
Well, Phil Jones has ruled a goal.
And again, I agree with this call, Clint. The Rams sent the puck in the crease. Bush jumped on it, and then two of his own men shoved Bush and the puck into the net. Let's watch it. Excellent feed by Northcott, and there you see it. Bush covered up.
The last Ram player trailing on the play, number 8. Morgan Aspen. He was not responsible for that Aquinas player going into the making contact with the goalie and getting into the net in the crease area there. That was the Aquinas player went in there on his own momentum and carried himself and the puck in the net, and referee Jones calls it a goal.
I think Willie Perry will get credit for this. Let's see how they rule it. The goal comes at the 6-minute mark and puts the Rams up 4-1, and Perry has scored 2 here in the second period. Again, Raider fans not happy, and they're letting referee Phil Jones know about it, but there's 2 consecutive calls, Clint, where I agree with them. And I don't believe that.
What's that, support and scratch each other's back no matter what sport?
You guys always stick together, don't you?
Well, what do you think about that?
Well, I think he made the right call.
What about the Keating call?
I'm not going to
down?
butter up to him, though.
What about the Keating down there? Did you think that was a penalty?
Not necessarily.
There you go. The Czar agrees with me.
Not necessarily is not necessarily a no.
It depends if it was an Aldershot ace being hauled down.
Well, that's a different story, isn't it? So referee Jones may see it differently than referee Harrison or
any fans throwing debris on the ice will be kicked out.
And there's the announcement now made by the public address announcer warning the Raider fans that if they're caught throwing debris onto the ice, they'll be ejected.
Well, this game now slipping out of the hands of the Raiders. They need a goal in a hurry. Dan Calvert.
Goal scored by number 7, Craig Northcott, assisted by number 8, Morgan Aspen. Time 9 minutes.
Well, they gave the goal to Northcott, and again, I'll disagree with that. I'm going to give it to Perry.
I would too.
The Czar again agrees with me. This is fantastic.
Jacome hits Keating, and Keating goes in and is cut off with a puck. Dave Bolton, cross ice. He's got him. Darren Campbell leaves it for Matt Anger. Anger takes a shot. Bush holds on. They jam at it. Oh, and it slipped in and out of the back door of the netminder.
Clint, I think, though, and the Czar, I think rapidly becoming in this game now is the defense of the MM Robinson Rams. And quite frankly, Tim Labanich has been outstanding at his own blue line, standing up the Raiders.
Well, earlier in the game it was you hit me, I'll hit you back, Mr. Stadola, and he gave as well as he got, and Tim's their captain, and he logs a lot of ice time. They look up to him for a lot of leadership on that Ram team.
Like any champion, too, he seems to be getting stronger as the game goes along.
Penalty number 11 for MM, I believe.
Almost
Darren Campbell.
academic now, though.
Darren Campbell will go to the penalty box and set a little time.
And there you look at Campbell. And again, frankly, this is where I don't agree with Jones. What was going on in the first period?
I missed that.
And that there.
Well, there could have been 3 or 4 incidents exactly like that were not called in the first period. And I think from the students' point of view, it's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
Continuity is...
MM penalty, number 11, Darren Campbell. 2 minutes for holding, time 8.
Quick shot, Goodchild. Had one bounce off the shoulder and gloved it down.
That's an easy call to make when the Rams are up 4-1.
Well, we always, as coaches, we always say it's the easiest call to make in hockey is a coincidental minor. Because you may have missed the first call and the retaliation call, you take them both, and it's frustrating for the students and frustrating for coaches. And
now the official Jones
doing
in
his
the corner. I don't know what's going on.
He's doing his own crowd control, making sure the fans stay beneath the glass.
They score! Goodchild put out his glove, and now there's no goal. They're waving it off.
I believe referee Jones has ruled that puck may have been knocked in with a glove, gloved into the net.
We're going to have a look at this one.
Let's see what's going on.
A pretty heated discussion going on down the corner between referee Jones and several Aquinas players.
Here it is again. Let's watch the action.
Works to a bit of a scrum. Whether that was 16.
Right, they are calling it a goal.
Well, they are. He may have batted it with a stick.
Well,
what, 16? 16 may have hit that with a stick, but not a high stick.
That's Stanola.
What he did initially was he made the signal indicating that the stick was at a legal height, and the goal will stand. A power play marker by Ed Stanola.
That's 2 of them on the power play. Aquinas right back into it with 7:45 remaining in the second period.
But I don't think they're going to get 2 more. Both their goals, Klein, have been on the power play. I don't think Jones will give them any more opportunities now.
Rocky Florio, a hard drive wide of the net.
Ed Stanola, assisted by number 17, John Stanola. Time 9:45.
Here is Ed Stanola. And Stanola, he turns to loose puck. Stanola still has it, and he's sent down. Labanich hit him high. Here comes Johnson. Stick check by John Stanola, who bounces it off the boards to Ed. Fuller. Petrilli sidesteps one. Cleared by Johnson.
Well, what it has done, Clint, it has brought the Raider fans into it, who don't seem to care that both their goals are on the power play, and now they're at even strength.
And this puck, hit by Keating, leaves the ice surface, and it'll go above the MM Robinson blue line.
Stanola and Labanich connect again.
So watch this call, or lack of call, on the... here comes Tim Labanich. The stick right up in the neck area of the play, right in front of referee Jones. I mean... gotta wonder.
Looked like a good hit to me.
Oh.
Mario Sarek and Dave Bolton do the honors. Sarek sends it into the MM zone. Brent McMillan from behind his own net. 6:44 remaining in period 2. 4-2. Rams in the lead. McMillan. Keating was right on the stick of Keating. Keating was peeling back and it left the zone.
For the first time, Clint, the Rams are having trouble clearing their own zone. They finally do now.
Puck is dumped in by Campbell. Campbell gets his own dump in, and he looks at his point opportunities, but he's kind of wild with the puck right now. Bolton tied up. Jacome fans on that clearing slap shot, and it's kept in by Anger. Puck will leave the blue, and now Keating falls down, gets up, falls down.
He's got a bit of the Russ Courtnall in him, Clint. A lot of moves, but a lot of ice as well. Raider fans doing their best, though, to get their team back into it. We saw a shot of Donnie Grant, the principal, a few moments ago. He seems calm, cool, and collected in the stands. Glenn, he wanted me to retract a statement on Halton Sports Week not long ago that the Raiders can't wait for soccer season to start. Here they are in the hockey final, and they got the junior basketball final coming up later in the week as well.
They also won the Tier 2 junior football crown this school year as well.
There you go. Not just the soccer school, St. Thomas Aquinas.
This has really been a big year for them.
Referee Jones having a little discussion with Coach McAdam.
Well, they're incensed. They want the puck to be dropped. Northcott. And now the Aquinas coach has words with Jones.
Well, Keith Boyd, the assistant for the Aquinas Raiders, I would be a little ticked off too, Coach. You could tell me, if a referee goes over and talks to another coach and doesn't come to you, I would kind of think, hey, what are they talking about? I'd like to just be informed as a courtesy.
Well, as long as they're not talking about me, it doesn't bother me personally as a coach. Other coaches would certainly want to know whether or not it has any strategic value in the game.
John Stadola with the puck, carries it over his own blue line, roughed up, still has it. Stadola walking in, quick shot, oh, that went wide. Behind the net, Sarek, oh, actually, he's hit from behind. Everyone's standing up, I can't even see.
And just like that, they sit down, Clint. They're listening to you.
Here comes Willie Perry. Drop pass, stolen by Fuller. Fuller, head of steam, Ned Stadola. And he brought himself offside.
That power play goal by Ed Stadola has seemed to have given the Raiders some life here in the second period, Czar.
Well, it looked very much like MM had taken control of this hockey game. The momentum was going all their way. They were finishing off some plays, and all of a sudden a penalty call, and MM will be suspect to take some penalties. They have to also remember that if they get by this game, they've got a GHAC championship game to play on Thursday. They need their guys in the lineup.
Coming right back is Florio. He's stick checked by Sarek. Sidesteps one. Loose puck is for Rocky Florio. Florio's pass is stolen by Keating. He seems to be looming everywhere. Johnson comes back. He lost it. Johnson, fed up of the whole situation, just slaps it down the ice.
And the Raiders.
It's kept in by Cowburn. Sent back to side of the ice. Here comes Morgan Keating. Keating wildly behind the net, tripped. Sent around and Johnson has the puck.
He wasn't tripped, Clint, he fell.
Slipped, fell, I don't know what happened.
Again, Keating, the spark plug here for the Raiders, carrying the puck in, but he just doesn't have the size and strength to continue on in front of the net, Czar.
Well, you get the feeling Clint wants to see a constant parade to the penalty box here. They can't help it if they fall down sometimes.
Clint is from Oakville, Czar.
Oh,
and
no.
because
Josie Sweenard falls down, you know? Nancy Kerrigan falls down. Everybody can do it.
Why me? Why me? Ed Stadola has one sent across the ice, and the Rams will come back. Bush, indecisive about what to do with the puck, will hold on with 4:03 remaining in the hockey game. And Steve, of all our years doing Halton High School hockey, this is the most problems I've ever seen having the ice.
It's impossible to see here. The Raider fans, they're like the Pittsburgh Penguin fans. I went down to Game 7 last year, Islanders and Penguins. Lemieux would have it behind his own net, and they stood up. He had 200 feet to go yet.
Puck was right in the slot and then cleared by Stadola, and then it leaves the ice surface. We'll have a face-off to the left-hand side of Mike Bush.
It's good to see the fans into it, though. They're here in good numbers supporting both schools, and they are vocal. You're watching TV 23's continuing coverage of Halton High School sports. This, the Halton Hockey Final.
And front, Bush! Bush robbed Darren Campbell from close in point-blank range.
He stared him down, and Campbell blinked. Watch this. There he is. Boom! And the glove shot up, and there it was. Beautiful save.
Everyone was tied up inside the face-off circle.
There's Principal Grant again, getting his hands together.
Well, I'm telling you, I was right beside him talking to him when the goal was scored by Stadola against Aldershot, and I've never seen a man jump higher. Never.
You had to mention that, huh?
The Tsar almost went into a coma beside me, Clint.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. At the right in front, that Matt Anger had an opportunity as the Raiders clear the puck. Labanich sends it right back into the Aquinas zone, and here comes Stadola. John Stadola from the blue line, banks one off the boards to Keating. Keating sends it in behind the net. Labanich comes up with it. He runs into Sarek, I believe. Keating forechecking, and a shot, and it didn't get to Goodchild. Dump right back in the Ram zone, and it is Labanich. Labanich spinning and moving. His pass to McMillan didn't connect, and Sarek has it now. Sarek kind of skated over the puck, lost control of it, and hustling back is McMillan. Brent McMillan, he's got Northcott there, and Northcott picks up the loose puck, sends it right into the slot.
Excellent hit there by Frank Fruity to bump him off the puck, Clint.
Stadola off the glass to the other side, and Campbell.
This is what I was talking about earlier. I think Aquinas is just content to dump it out of their zone and look for a mistake up in the neutral zone area.
Keating and Aspen exchanging sticks. Northcott comes up with it, stops, centers, Aspen with it. Keating falling into Aspen.
At least you used the right terminology that time. But Clint and the Tsar, the Raiders, have seemed to use that 3-goal deficit to get themselves pumped up a little bit. They're not saying die here.
Well, I found it a very tough grind. It was a very long, exhausting game against them last Thursday in Oakville. That's the style of play they'll play. They'll bang with you. They'll dump the puck out. They'll make you go back and do the extra skating. It's just a very long, tough game against these Aquinas Raiders.
The Raiders weren't supposed to be here. Many thought that they were a middle-of-the-pack team. Well, they've surprised many, except themselves. They believed in themselves all year. Ranked 5th in the Foxes 5 virtually all season, Clint. Now they're fighting for the Halton title.
Stadola and Perry all tied up. They're trying to get a whistle, and they do.
And the game slows down a bit. The Raiders have turned it into a methodical march here in the second period, just under 2 minutes to play.
Well, I don't think they want to let the likes of Northcott and Aspen skate with the puck. Here's Northcott, quick shot, high over the shoulder of Bush. Aspen cleared off the boards to Stadola. Petrilli send it out of the zone.
Key for the Raiders now, finish this period strong.
Cowburn hits Aspen. Watched by Stadola, hooked and pulled. Stadola puts him into the boards. Brother John will clear it. Oh, and here comes Fuller! Fuller, quick shot, good child, big rebound, and cleared away with the hand of Scott Campbell.
They may call a penalty here.
They do! Northcott's upset.
Here's a look at it. Did he close his hand on the puck? Yes! He grabbed it and threw it. Tsar, how do you see that one?
I think he's grasping a little bit at that one, you know. I don't think you make that kind of a call at this point in the game.
Goodchild let out a big rebound, and Campbell
wait now. He's leaving. He's leaving the penalty box area.
He may have said something to referee Jones that, oh no, now he's going back. I guess he figured with less than 2 minutes to play in the period, he might be able to go to the locker room.
1:24 remaining in the second period.
It's a big face-off right now.
Raiders on the power play. They have been effective. 2 or 3 on the power play this evening.
Yeah, I might call a timeout here. You know?
Jake Fuller and Silva on the draw.
And they crash the net. Here's Fuller with it. Tied up. 2 men on the puck.
penalty. Number 50,
Silva.
Scott Campbell. 2 minutes for delay of game.
Down the ice the puck goes. 1:07 remaining in the period. The puck is stolen by Silva. Send it back to the point. Ed Stadola. And now we have a whistle by Phil Jones. We may have an injury down the other side of the ice.
There is an injured Raider down. And
the Raiders must be upset about that. They were flying down the ice.
Well, I think the rule there, Clint, is if your man is down and you get possession of a puck, then you're going to blow it dead. Safety first.
There it is.
Now, the call, though, of delay of the game, that's what I don't agree with. I think he did mitt the puck right out of the air and throw it, but a delay of game call, I think, doesn't really describe what the penalty should be.
Well, I think Aquinas obviously gets a break with this call. It's a tough one to call. I mean, it's pretty controversial, and perhaps not in the mind of referee Phil Jones, but sure won't sit well with the Robinson bench.
Czar, the Raiders are 2 for 2 on the power play.
Well, I thought that faceoff was a huge faceoff down in the Robinson end, and they managed to get control of the puck and clear it down the ice. I really think if Aquinas can score in this, what time is left in this period, and it's going to be a rather interesting third. I think they really have to get back into this hockey game. If Robinson can kill this penalty off, I really think they'll go into the third period with so much momentum that Aquinas just won't be able to catch up.
And I, of course, would look foolish. Foolish of me, first of all, to close the book on a championship, Clint. Only midway through. I thought the Raiders were through. Pack the equipment up. Hand it back in.
It's a Catholic school, Steve.
Never give up.
You and I have discussed that several times about the likes of Notre Dame and
they got something a little
Raiders,
extra.
Loyola.
They got something a little extra built in. Here's the hit where the injury took place.
Oh my.
It looked like it was a good hard hit.
Fair hit, Jeff Allman.
But Allman seemed to got his ankle twisted on the play.
I think his head bounced off the glass too.
Ed Stadola with the assist from Brother John got things underway here in the Halton final at 58 seconds of the first period. And then Morgan Aspen came back at 8:28. Scott Campbell getting the assist on that marker to tie it at 1. Barry Anderson made it 2-1 after 1 at 13:17.
Look at Allman, doesn't know where he is. He has no idea.
Willie Perry scored in the first minute of the second period and then added another one at the 6-minute mark to make it 4-1 Rams. Ed Stadola came back with his second to make it 4-2. That's where we stand now. That goal was at 7:15 of the second. With less than a minute to play now, we're set to go. A late change by the Raiders as Ed Stadola comes back on.
58 seconds to be exact. Silva and Sarek. Sarek wins it. Keating comes back with it. Keating puts it into the slot, and another shot by Stadola, and no one was there to deflect it. Down the ice, the puck will go. Bush leaving it for John Stadola. Silva watching him carefully. Loose puck picked up and then lost. Ed Stadola with it, dancing at center ice. Stolen, coming back the other way is Labanich. Labanich cutting in towards the net. Bush flipped it high over the net. 19 seconds remaining in the power play and in the period. Keating doubling back. They'll have one more opportunity at rushing the puck. Keating will take it to Sarek. Sarek busting it over the blue line. He peels back. 3 seconds remaining. Keating with it, and that'll end the period.
Well, Clint, in that period, in this game so far, we've seen a couple of the heavyweights, Tim Labanich and Ed Stadola, collide frequently. One of the heavyweight battles I'd like to see, we saw them tie up briefly there winding down the second period. But how about John Stadola and Tim Labanich? I'd like to see them in a heavyweight clash to see if one of them hits the deck. I don't know what would happen.
Well, both the Stadola brothers, they're very strong upper body strength. They're very powerful from their arms and shoulders and wrists, and they use that very effectively in the games.
Robinson Rams 4, Aquinas Raiders 2. 1 period of regulation left. You're watching the Halton High School Hockey Final live on TV 23. We'll be back in a few moments with the third period. Stay with us.
At Participaction, we're looking at the art of active living, as you may say. Add all the color and excitement you want when you move a little more often. It's a renaissance of activity. Create an impression with family and friends from a whole palette of classic activities. Active living, it's a real good time. Moving your way every day. Participaction.
Welcome back to Central Arena. We're being attacked on all sides by Raider fans. Clint, we got Principal Grant just in front of us moments ago. We got the Raiders junior basketball team behind us.
John Baraldo's got to get some control.
They're wondering how they're going to do against the Pearson Patriots later on in the week. I don't have a clue yet. It's hockey today.
Well, let's just alert our fans along the line as well, too. We will be covering the Halton Junior and Senior Championships from Sheridan College, Jam Porter Athletic Auditorium, usually a jam.
It'll be the Jam Porter, Jam-packed
Porter Athletic Auditorium, and both games will be covered.
Now, will the Czar be with us for that? You know anything about basketball?
What?
What the Czar does know about, though, is hockey. And Czar, the second period, the Stadola brothers and the Raiders seemed to turn it up a notch when they got down 4-1, but on that last power play, they didn't seem to be under control, I guess.
No, I thought they wasted a good portion of this power play at the end of that period. The one particular rush, one of the Stadola brothers came into the MM zone, had all kinds of time to control and set for a better scoring opportunity, but he rushed. I don't know if he was feeling pressure, closing down the second period like that. If they get a goal here, they're right back in this hockey game for the third period. And he tried a quick shot without thinking too much, and it was easily blocked and cleared out of the zone by a Robinson player. But, had he hung on to that a little bit longer, both of these guys have got good quick hands. They can control the puck. They can make good passes. And they sort of wasted that opportunity. Now they only have 36 seconds into this third period to try and make something happen. And they really do have to get a strong kind of make something happen type of play early in this third period. It'll bring their fans back to life, and I really think that their fans have helped them more than the Robinson fans. And someone might say, well, the Robinson players don't need much help from their fans. They're a very good hockey club, but certainly when their fans, the Aquinas fans, are up and cheering and yelling and screaming, it seems to help them out a little bit. And penalties are going to be a thing here in the third period. If Robinson takes a couple of more silly penalties, it could hurt them seriously.
Well, cliches in sport are ever present. One of the ones you hear sometimes is next goal wins. Would the Raiders have enough to win the game if they score the next goal?
I think so. I really do think so. They're the type of team that just doesn't quit against you, and they're so
aggravating.
Well,
tenacious.
They are indeed that, but they're not a traditional type of opponent. I tried to explain that to our players last week before we went into our semifinal game. They're not a Robinson, they're not a Notre Dame that comes flying down the wing and try and make a nice tic-tac-toe passing play and force the issue right to the net. And they're very opportunistic. They look for turnovers. They look to block shots, block passes, and turn it to their advantage. And really, that's every offensive opportunity really in this game that Aquinas has had is because they forced a turnover.
And power plays. They have not scored an even strength goal so far in this hockey game, Clint. Can they beat the Rams at even strength?
I don't think so. The Rams are just far too disciplined, and as Bob said, their unusual style of playing, the power play does come into effect because you have the extra man, and well, it's simple it's simple logistics there.
It's simple to think, but not to say.
Not to say. I got a tongue
How can you call all that action happening in front of us, but you can't string a sentence together here between periods?
Well, he used it all up.
I used everything all up, though. But, Bob, you know, we talk about sometimes in basketball, Steve and I, one of the most referred to teams is the New York Knicks. They almost play like a street ball. It just looks wild and crazy. Would you say the Aquinas Raiders, their unorthodox style of playing hockey is almost like a street hockey kind of game?
It is. They play it. We like to call it pond hockey. They're just out there having some fun. I mean, they're led obviously by four very important players, and you notice when they tried to finish off that power play, 16, 19, 17, and 11 are on that power play unit, and those are their leaders. Those are, I believe, they're all OAC students, and this being their finale or their swan song in high school hockey, the coach has no choice but to really go with his strength.
Talking to Principal Grant between periods, he says in the game against the Aces, the Raiders seem to finish every play, and he felt that in the second period, especially, some of the Raiders didn't follow through and finish their checks.
Well, if you'd have seen the reaction of the Aquinas players after they scored a goal in overtime against us last Thursday, you would have sworn it was the Halton Championship. And they had a big, huge game against Nelson at the tail end of the league season where they beat them 6-3, and that was the game of their season. And it's a confidence booster. And Principal Grant saying that was one of the best games they've ever played all season. I mean, it's no surprise to me. It happened to be against Aldershot, but I don't know if it's taking the edge off their play. I really don't know.
What a surprise for a team that didn't even have a team last year.
There's Central Arena. We're live inside right now. You're watching TV23's high school hockey coverage. Steve Foxcroft with Clint O'Neill and Bob the Czar Williamson. Third period action just underway here, and quickly we have a whistle. Clint, outside on the board, the Burlington Cougars and the Oakville Blades are the marquee attractions. The Cougars are trailing that series 3-0.
Well, I was able to catch game number 3, which Oakville won 6-3, and to say the least, the Burlington Cougars look listless.
We'll see if Jeff Allman makes a return for the Raiders here in the third period. He left the ice very groggy late in the second. Shaken up. A grade 10 student. Allman has 3 years left here. And he was a regular on defense all season long and all throughout the playoffs and the championship.
John Stadola, 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Head taken into the boards. Loose puck picked up by the Raiders. A quick shot by Sarek that Goodchild, I don't think he saw. Oh, and here comes the Rams. Oh, and breaking away was Willie Perry, but the puck kind of slid away from his stick. Frank Fruity stolen by Perry, who sends it right in on Bush to hit the side of the net. Keating lifts it high to Sarek. He can't reach it. Tim Lobanich. What can be said about him? Big inspirational leader. The cornerstone of the defense for the Rams. Dumped in by Johnson. John Stadola. Moving up the puck, and Johnson will send it right back in for the Rams. From behind the net are the Rams. They have it in Raider territory now. Anderson bumped off the puck, and here comes Fuller. Fuller with it. Jacob Fuller going to the net. The puck shot in there by Petrilli. Rocky Florio comes back the other way, leaving it for Anderson. Anderson down deep in the corner. Takes a hit. Raiders trying to take control. Now the Rams have it. Sent right back in by Campbell.
The Raider fans won't sit down, Clint.
Again, they can't. Here comes a quick shot, a save by Bush. The rebound is shoveled wide. And Bush sends it in the corner. Rocky Florio with that opportunity. Petrilli coming back the other way, and the puck is swiped away by Johnson. Johnson on his knees sends a puck all the way down the middle. Allman back on the ice now. Almost falling down there. He lost the puck. Campbell with it. He lost it. Stadola will give chase. Keating to the net. And Stadola dumped. Falls down. Keating with it. Back to Sarek. Spinning and moving. Right in front is Fruity, and it goes wide of the net. Stadola pressing with Johnson. Stadola falls down. Johnson falls down, and they fall on the puck for a whistle.
Ed Stadola almost got a parking ticket as he was camped out in front of Craig Goodchild forever, Clint, but they couldn't get him the puck for him to finish.
You want to notice who's not on the ice. Sometimes the Robinson team won't be quite as tough or strong on the blue line when Timmy Labanich is not out there on the ice. He really is very much the leader on that Ram defense.
He's standing up right by the open door, waiting to come on. We'll probably see him shortly. The Rams send it down the ice, buy some more time.
Race to the puck. Stadola has it, lifts it high. Northcott walking in. A shot to save Bush. He doesn't know where it is. And Sarek clears the puck. Now it's kept in. Down low in the corner, they all bang and clang at it. The Raiders break away the other way. Keating in mid-ice, falls down. Here's Sarek in on goal. Oh, Goodchild robbed him. Oh!
The goal.
The backhand was stolen. Holy mackerel.
Just trickled over the line.
The lead may be blown off Central Arena. It's 4-3.
Watch Morgan Keating here. He's doing a lot of hard work. He's down on the play. The puck comes back. Trying to backhand. The save is made. The goaltender's virtually out of his crease and out of the play. And the puck manages to slip in. The far corner of the net. Just crosses the line.
Kenny Jacome gets
Stereo.
Now let's see what the crowd will do for this Aquinas team.
Well, we've asked you, Czar, if the next goal wins, your reputation is on the line now.
Timmy Labanich with the puck at his own blue line.
Timmy
St.
Labanich
Thomas
was
scored by number 4, Jen Jacob, assisted by number 17, John Stadola.
Labanich was on.
Oh, a big collision! Oh, and Stadola knocked off his skates. Labanich missed the puck. And it's out of the ice surface, and we're going to get a face-off.
Kenny Jacome, the first guy other than Ed Stadola to score. And let's take a look at the action again as the bodies collide all over Central Arena.
But going back to that goal, what a great save by Goodchild in tight on Sarek.
Yeah, he made a great save on the backhand shot, and really he was sort of sliding out at it, trying to make that type of save. And that's why he was taken out of the play.
Jacome, a grade 10 student, gets a big goal here in the Halton final.
Davey Bolton dumping in the puck. Allman settles back and tries to get rid of it.
For the Raiders, what a confidence booster to score at even strength, Clint.
Jacome with it at the blue line. Sarek tries to leave it for Keating, and Keating just missed it. Here's Keating once again, sending it down into the corner, and it's picked off by Calburn, who sends it to Campbell. Campbell in over the blue line, walking in with it, sends it towards the net. And Stadola banned on, actually, Fruity banned on it. Jacome, drop pass, Keating, shot, save, Goodchild.
Keating went through the 5-hole of Scott Campbell and almost found the 5-hole of Greg Goodchild.
Well, he tries to use the defenseman as a bit of a screen. Allow that big goal in the Elgin. See him use the defenseman right through the defenseman's legs. Tries to.
Shades of Peter Alcock.
Absolutely. Used that was the Nelson Lord Elgin. Used the Scott Campbell there as a screen. That's right.
Northcott won the draw, but Stadola has the puck towards the net. Here's backhand by Fuller. Oh, Goodchild robbed him. Goodchild slated the open side of the net and robbed Fuller.
And Clint, for the first time this period anyway, that I've noticed, Tim Labanich is finally back on the ice.
Watch him step out in front here, and the backhander, if he maybe had been able to raise that puck a little bit higher, and that was pretty well along the ice type of backhand. I mean, Goodchild made a great save, but had he, lifted that puck a little bit, maybe try to tuck it in that far post, that might have been a goal.
Labanich trying to settle this game down. The emotion certainly now with the Raiders. Stadola off the boards to his brother, who ran into Labanich but sidestepped him. Now he wants the puck. Aspen fires the puck all the way down the ice as Northcott runs in to John Stadola. McMillan.
MM's passing game is not looking that well right now. I mean, they're trying to get a quick break and take advantage of some aggressive forechecking on the part of Aquinas, but their passes are really not hitting the mark.
Wooly Perry to Aspen. Aspen walking in. Down low in the corner. Body check. He lost the puck. They're all battle for it. We can't even see once again. This is incredible. And a face-off. Thank God for a monitor.
Morgan Aspen in there for the Rams. Mixing it up. Ed Stadola, what a game he's played. His brother John solid on the blue line for the Raiders. And they've hung around, Clint. How many times have we done a game where a team has hung around and given themselves an opportunity to win a title?
They won't go away. They're like a bad dream. They've already haunted the Pearson Patriots and the Aldershot Aces.
Thanks.
Could the haunt continue?
Now the glass is being looked at by Phil Jones.
How much time do we have in this game?
I have no idea.
I can't see the clock.
This is the only way I can do it, folks. 8:24 remaining.
Clint's going down to ice level. Thank God we have extension cords.
Stadola from behind his own net. Tried to leave it for Keating, and it's picked off and stole by Anderson, who sends it right back in. Fruity sends it around the boards to Jacome. Jacome carrying the puck. He's got Sarek. Sarek picks up the loose puck. Sent away by Johnson. Sarek had it tied up in his skates, and now Johnson leaves it in there for Dan Calburn. Calburn leaves it for Florio. Here comes Florio skating hard over the center ice line, and he's stick checked by Keating. Florio sends a shot in on Butch, who kneels down and sends it for his defenseman. Mario Sarek in over the blue line. Sends a quick shot, and it's blocked in there by Matt Anger. Anger carrying the puck over the blue line. Anger stepping in, and that shot is deflected high into the seats.
Raiders look good, though. Playing on defense, 2 men back, very solid at the blue line, picking up the puck carrier.
7:29 remaining in the third period.
Well, they got to be really careful they don't stumble in their own end. I mean, a couple of flurries right there in that last shift. Struggled a little bit trying to get effective control of the puck. When they get control of the puck, they're okay, but getting to that puck first would be the big major concern if I was the Aquinas coach.
Rams in white, Raiders in black. Rams lead 4-3, third period of the Halton final.
Labanich lost it, and Young was watching him. Oh! I don't believe it! Highway collision! Look out!
Labanich and Stadola. Ed, go at it for the third round.
Stadola lost it at the line, and then Walsh tried to run him from behind, and he was very dangerous at a hit from the back area. Very, very dangerous there.
I think if we're going to see a penalty at all in this third period, it's going to have to be something, very obvious.
Look out!
Here's another look at the collision. Oh my!
Crushing hit. Lebanich.
On replay, I think his Stadola's children will be born dizzy, Clint.
Now the official Jones having another word with the Aquinas fans or the coaching staff. They're having a running conversation there. You should put a taximeter on that. Slapped down the ice by Fruity. Lebanich in his own zone. 6:48 remaining. Mario Sarek with the loose puck. He falls down. Jacome for Sarek through his skates. Here's Stadola, drive, and Goodchild holds on.
John Stadola, I think, just had to let that one go a half a stride early as he was racing for the puck that time. Lebanich was coming in to gather control of it, and Goodchild had a excellent look at it all the way there. And Goodchild may be the starting shortstop for the Rams baseball team.
Yeah, that looked more like a pop fly than it did a pretty hard shot.
Stadola keeps the puck in with the backhand. Keating, who's been all over the ice, sends it right back in. Sarek, stolen by Northcott. All the way up the ice to Perry. Northcott couldn't reach it. 2-on-2 the other way. Make it a 3-on-2. Oh, and he put everyone offside. Mario Sarek dancing at the blue line. He's got to take it straight over.
Bizarre Bubba O'Neill all of a sudden.
Unbelievable.
Jacome was caught just an inch or two offside that time. But the Rams have not been able to mount an offense in the Raiders' zone in this period.
No, I've been very impressed with the way Aquinas has played in this third period. Much more tempo to their game.
Aspen to Northcott. Northcott in deep in the corner. Fuller with the puck. Now leaves it for Ed. Here comes Ed. Over the blue line. He's taken down. Puck slapped back into the Rams zone. McMillan bounces it off the boards. Aspen lost control of it. McMillan will try again, and the Northcott will pick up the loose puck. Northcott, leading goal scorer for the Rams, has to do something here. Takes the shot, it's deflected into the...
Glenn, I think Coach Gerbenz and Boyd may have reminded the Raiders between periods that the Halton Championship wasn't played against the Aldershot Aces are. The way the Raiders have come out here, they're now doing what Principal Grant said between periods. He might have left their broadcast location and went to the locker room too. They're finishing their checks, they're carrying the puck out of their own end, and they're getting scoring opportunities.
Well, they're certainly playing with a lot more heart and desire in this final half of the third period.
5:15 remaining in the Halton Championship, at least in regulation time. Lebanich, up ice, Florio, tied up, Keating, Sarek, loose puck stolen by Lebanich and sent right back in the Raiders zone. The clock now becoming the enemy of the Raiders. They need a goal. The Rams want to hold on, maybe get one more for insurance. Frank Fruity looking for Jacome. He's got it. Runs into Lebanich. But Keating was there for the loose puck. And it's sent right back down the ice. Johnson. Tipped away by Anderson.
Stadola's hurt, Clint.
He seems to be hurt with his head. Now Sarek gets all tied up. And a little holding of a stick by Scott Campbell. No call on the play. Fans erupt.
Stadola's taking a beating out there, but he stays on.
John Stadola lifts the puck to center ice, and it's sent right back in by the Rams. The Rams content to play the game of a powerful forechecking team to maybe run out the last 3:56. Keating slaps it down the ice. Jacome runs into Campbell. Campbell comes back. behind Darren Campbell. Bush holds on. Gets a whistle.
Good move by Bush, more than anything, to get John Stadola a breather. Clint, he may be playing with a separated shoulder out there. He took a big hit behind his own net.
I think if I was the Aquinas coaches right now, I'd be calling a timeout. I mean, I need my big guns. They got 3:42 to play in this game in their season, and here it is.
Patrolling.
They could use the rest.
Give their fans a chance to whoop them up a bit, too.
3.5 remaining. Cowburn. Kept in by the Raiders, and then it leaves the zone. Fuller, stick check. Away there by Campbell. Now Petrilli and Anger get all tied up along the boards. Fruity in for a little help, and a whistle is blown. 3:09 remaining.
Well, they're using valuable time on the clock, and if Aquinas has to get that puck in deep. They just can't play at or near the Robinson blue line. They have to get it in deep and force the defenseman in there, carry the puck or make a pass, hopefully, from the Aquinas point of view, make a mistake.
Fuller and Northcott. Fuller wins this one. Here he comes. He's got Stadola wide on the wing. Puck is sent in behind him, though. Oh, and Labanich gave the business in the head to Morgan Aspen. And Aspen is, actually it's not Aspen. Someone is down on the ice. That's number 7, Northcott.
Craig Northcott.
He was really hit hard by Stadola, and he is feeling the pain of that hit. And again, that hit might have been a little high to the head area.
Well, Craig Northcott is not as tall as either one of the two Stadola brothers, so, up against the boards. I mean, sometimes players have a tendency to, try and feint a hit or crouch a little bit, maybe take it on his shoulder or something like that, as opposed to...
Let's take another look at it here as Stadola and Northcott go to the boards hard together.
Yeah, a bit of a, I wasn't sure if that was an elbow, maybe a bit of a butt end or something like that. Boom,
Oh!
just like that.
I
You
think
saw the
both.
elbow fly a little bit there.
Clearly a penalty in the regular season.
Well, he's a very important player for the Rams, and certainly you don't like to see any of these students get injured in this game, and obviously if he can't continue a blow to the Robinson Hockey Club.
Especially if we play extra time. Everybody leaving all they got out there on the ice today in the Hockey Halton final. No different from all the Halton finals.
They seem to come down to this point in the game, don't they?
Every one of them.
A big moment late in the game.
Every one of them has been a 1-goal deficit at this time of the game for the last 4 years.
Halton Sports, Clint. Oh,
Good child. Using some of them baseball skills there. That's Labanich. Slowly, deliberately, passing the puck up ice to Willie Perry. Willie Perry dumps it in. Bush leaves it for Stadola. Stadola just sends it down the ice.
that injury to Northcott allowed the Raiders to catch their breath a bit.
Labanich taking his sweet old time. The clock now reading 2:25. He dumps it in the Raiders zone. Oh, they score!
It's over.
Willie Perry, Johnny on the spot, and that might be it.
Here's a puck dumped in, catches a seam on the puck board behind the net to the right of Bush. Boom, right out front.
2:19 remaining
What a
in
gift.
the game. And what a gift, as you said, Bob.
Well, I remember last week at Oakville Arena, I was talking to the cat before the game, and I told him to go out there with one of our assistant captains and test the puck board, test the backboards. You never know. You don't play in an arena all season. Obviously, Bush, on the Aquinas team, never played here all year. If you play here, that puck board can be a little lively down at that end of the Central Arena.
Willie Perry, a hat trick here in the Halton final. making a case to be the Fox 40 player of the game, Bubs.
Lobanich from behind his own net. Raiders need 2. Fruity stole it, and then he had it bounce out of his hand. Barry Anderson.
MM goal scored by number 19, Willie Pony. Assisted Perry. Assisted by number 24, Jim Lebec. Time 2:19.
Lobanich gets the assist on Perry's third.
1:53 remaining.
Clint, the insurance has just arrived in the mail, courtesy of a bad bounce off the boards here at Central Arena.
If you're MM Robinson, you got to feel very fortunate. I mean, there's a gutsy team, this Aquinas Raiders team. They gave it everything they had in this hockey game.
Clint said it, they don't go away. And if the game's in Oakville, it may have bounced the other way.
Stadola making, and Stadola upset
I think he's hurt his leg.
by Craig Silva.
I think he's hurt his knee on that play.
And now the pushing and shoving. In that, Stadola is hurt underneath.
He's up.
Oh, he goes after Silva. Silva was the man, he hit him. Stadola took a shot at Silva, and it was Silva that sent Stadola wildly flying into the air.
And now he's hurt again.
He's gone. They're both gone. The official Jones will have none of it.
Now this is something I'll never understand, how a player can get up after being hurt like that, take a shot at a guy, and then go down again. I don't understand that. Earl Winfield of the Tiger Cats did it this year. He got up, went after the Ottawa Rough Riders' entire team, and then laid back down on the field again hurt, life or death. And the same thing happens here to Stadola. A minute ago, he could brawl.
Well, I don't know that I call it a brawl. He took a
Let's
bit of
see
a
the
poke
hit.
at him, but he hurt his knee on this play. You watch his knee. He goes.
Here's the collision.
There, see the knee go right over, and he goes down the ice. He's grasping. He's in a lot of pain. He's been injured, and he's frustrated. You know, their team came very close in this game, and not that sort of activity is condoned or tolerated in our league, but he's being attended there by a Sheridan College therapist.
Well, let's hope he is all right. He gets up. He appears to be okay. He'll go off gingerly, and let's just hope that young man's career isn't jeopardized by that unfortunate collision.
It's really amazing to see in our game last Thursday, semifinal with Aquinas, he injured his back in a collision in our end, clean body check, and he had to leave the game for a short while. It's amazing what it does to their whole team perspective. They lose a lot when 17 is not around.
So he'll go to the locker room.
Kind of a sad way to end your high school career.
Great camera work down there in the lower echelons of Central Arena.
In the pit.
But I'm sure John and Ed Stadola will have plenty of hockey left.
You may see some of these players long after the Halton Championship, GHAC Championship, and OFFS Ontario Championships have concluded, as we have our 5th annual Halton Challenge All-Star High School Hockey Tournament scheduled for right here in this building, Central Arena, April 6th to 10th, featuring high school all-star hockey players from 10 different associations across Southern Ontario. And I know a lot of the players that you see here in today's game will be in that playing for Halton. The team is this year's coached by Gary Crocker from Oakville Trafalgar and former Appleby coach Dave Singer and Jeff Johnston.
We look forward to that. The grandfather of Halton hockey and high school hockey in Ontario, really, Bob Williamson, the czar, as we've referred to him throughout the year. Obviously, Bob, you put a lot of work into that, and we hope it's just another year of success for you.
Well, we'll be back next year, and we'll have a pretty fair team. We'll be competitive, and that's really what we strive for. And
where's the Cat? Is he back, or is he gone?
No, the Cat is planning to attend university. I'm sure Bubba appreciates that. And, he's looking forward to our showdown competition.
Well, I was more than impressed on viewing him last week. I thought the score might have been a little bit larger in favor of Aquinas, but
meanwhile,
Fedison was brilliant.
I just want to know, the Bubba breakaway was scheduled, and you bailed out. What was your reason?
There were reasons.
Very shaky.
I've taken them all and beaten them.
Wow.
I'm going to run away from them? What are you talking about?
I rearranged a transatlantic flight, and you bail out.
Oh, yeah.
The Cat is waiting in his lair for you.
Coincidental minors called for both teams with 1:30 remaining. Keating with the puck. Labanich takes him into the board. Oh, they run each other into the boards.
Let's just hope things finish on a cool note here, Clint.
Darren Campbell dumping the puck down low in the corner. We're going to have a collision here. Fruity missed him. Right in front. And Fruity sends it cross ice, and it's kept in. Darren Campbell down low to Anger. It's picked off by Sarek. And we have reached the 1 minute mark of this hockey game. A shot. Goodchild gloved that one down and left it for Anger. Anger off the boards, out of the zone. Fruity sends it right back in. Lobanich. 47 seconds remaining. Right in front of his own net. And he sends it down the ice. Icing waved off as Fruity chases it. Frank Fruity from behind his own net. They want to maybe get one more as Keating missed it, and a shot, and the stick is broken of Calburn. And we got more pushing and shoving. And now Keating going after Labanich. Northcott and Sarek exchange words, and they're going to be gone. And now he has words with the guy in the penalty box.
Well, I think it was all started. Ed Stadola was involved initially as well.
And now Northcott baiting the pens of Aquinas. The Ram fans respond.
Well, referee Phil Jones will not put up with this at the tail end of a championship or any other type of hockey game. He'll try and put a lid on it really tight.
And actually, now what we've seen in the past, Clint, this isn't too bad. This is all right.
Well, the Raider that was in the penalty box has now been kicked out of the penalty box and sent into the bench.
See Principal David Leslie down there from MM Robinson just trying to act as a buffer zone there so we don't have an interaction of students between Aquinas and Robinson.
As well as Coach, as long as Principal Grant in there as well, too. But you think
well, I couldn't see for all these Aquinas.
You think the two of them could stop a mad rush?
Oh, I think they'll do it. I think they'll do a great job.
They'll do all right.
Now they're putting up the enforcing caution tape.
That'll do it. That's like the finish line.
Now, head coach of the football team, Gino Camilletti, steps in there.
It's good to see both schools acting responsibly.
And now they're really going at it. Fruity, along with Colin Healy. I don't remember Colin Healy ever being on the ice. It's a mad rush. What an ugly ending to such a great game. I don't believe it.
Well, this is really tragic because if depending on how referee writes this up in terms of
oh, and now Fruity on top of him. Darren Palco in there.
These players face suspensions depending on how referee Phil Jones writes this up.
The Ram players players got to step out of this because they're in another game. Why are they continuing to fight?
Well, it's really stupid. They're in GHAC Championship on Thursday afternoon, and a win in that game gets them to the All-Ontario Championship Tournament later in March in Toronto.
I mean, these Ram players have to use their head. I'm not putting all the blame on the Ram players. The Aquinas players have played a great game. They've had a great season, and they just got to end this game. But if I'm a Ram player, I still have one more, maybe 3, 4, 5 more games left
maybe
to play.
a full season left.
Maybe a full season left.
Maybe an OFSA medal.
Who knows?
I think, if I was... if it could be done, I'd like to see, some of the fans escorted out of the building now from one school or the other.
Or just call it.
Call it. 21 seconds in a
But it's not
5-3 hockey game.
There's an incident here, but, there's a little bit of excitement from fans and what have you. And I think if you take that element out of the game, you'd see a little bit more calm response on the part of the players.
And now there's been pop cans thrown on the ice. This is unbelievable. I haven't seen anything like this in my life.
I think I see Keith Boyd up in the stands. Do you see him out there? I think he's doing a little bit of crowd control himself, and I wouldn't want to mess with him if I was anybody, let alone a student.
No. You don't want to do that.
Meanwhile, generally, though, the fans
I didn't see
have just been loud.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of bad apples, of course. You're going to get that everywhere. But generally, though, they behave pretty good, just making a lot of noise.
Well, certainly with that incident going on in the ice down in the corner, I didn't see any evidence of students hanging over the glass or trying to get into it. I mean, certainly through some...
And the other thing, too, with our great camera coverage, you'd be dumb to do anything. You get picked off just like that.
Absolutely.
See you at the office tomorrow morning.
With the officials, why are they putting anyone in the box? Just get them out of the game.
Yeah. Well, maybe, too, what they're doing, give a guy a couple minor penalties, keep him in the box till the end, and for the Rams, if you do get chucked out, they may have to be written up.
Well, if I was a...
just get rid of him. He's ruining my game. Boom, he's gone.
If I was Czar-like, I would guess here double minors or minor penalties, no majors. It's
well,
just
there was one Raider, I believe, escorted to the locker room.
Frank Fruity.
Well, I meant in terms of the MM Robinson Rams.
Yeah. And I think, too, Coach
they have
McAdam,
9 minutes up there.
Each way.
Robinson was cited for the extra penalty.
Calburn just dumps in the puck, and the Halton championship will go into the hands of the MM Robinson Rams. They have avenged the loss from the 1993, and here they come. The Rams win again. And they pushed the net back to the... Goodchild might have been knocked out there.
Well, no one's gone in the net, though. He's kept everything out.
The Halton Championship has returned to the Rams, and the fans giving an appreciative applause to their runners-up. The Aquinas Raiders, the Cinderella team who many expected not even to be here.
I certainly didn't. Last Thursday.
Hey, they were the only ones that believed in themselves, Clint, and that's all it takes.
This school didn't even have a hockey team last year. They gave it up for naught and have come back in their first year back in the league and have played strong enough to get into this Halton Championship game.
Keith Boyd now,
and
from
he's
the crowd.
He's staring down the crowd.
Now he's into the... Now he's...
No, that's not
Oh,
Keith
that's
Boyd.
not him.
Look at him. I see him with the brown jacket on. He's telling the Raider fans to get over the glass. But how about these Ram players?
Well, congratulations really to MM Robinson, Coach McAdam, Coach Romeo.
They've done
Did
a
an
great
outstanding job. There's Rod Frith that's near center ice, our in-school hockey convener, head of Fazette Central, presenting our Halton League Championship trophy to Captain Tim Labanich from the MM Robinson Rams.
Labanich, who we saw very much last year, acting in frustration, feeling the happiness of the Halton Championship, something that he's been looking forward to his hockey career at MM. And they all get a touch of the cup there.
I hope they don't drop it.
They all want to touch it.
I don't think it'll be going too far. And Clint.
Well, MM several years ago, MM Robinson was out of our hockey in our Halton League, and they came back in 1987-88 and won a silver medal at Austin, Hamilton that year. They won we beat them in overtime for the Halton Championship. They won the GHAC Championship and went on to win the silver medal at Copps Coliseum. And
Leo McAdam back then.
Well, they've done a great job. They were in Halton Championships in 88, 89, 90, last year, and again this year. So aside from the 2 years where we had Nelson and Lord Elgin in our Halton final, MM Robinson has been in every final, 5 of the last 7 years.
Thing too, Mr. McAdam ran an intramural program, Clint, not thinking there was an interest for a school program to compete interscholastically. Well, they proved that there was an interest when several of the kids back 6-7 years ago went to Mr. McAdam and said, look, we'll give you the commitment to get a team. A few short years later, and off the silver medal came out.
Well, one thing that I was very impressed with way back then when MM Robinson won the GHAC Championship and went to offices, they were very focused beyond the Halton Championship. And really, they have to take this. This is a moment they've worked all year for. They must take this to the next level. They have to travel into Hamilton Thursday afternoon. They have to play the winner of Glendale and St. Mary's, who are playing off this afternoon as well for the combined City of Hamilton Championship, for the right to go to Toronto March 23rd for the All-Ontario Championship. And, our association has done very well with the representation from the Nelson Flames over the last 3 years, 2 bronze medals in 3 years. It's quite an accomplishment. So our region has done very, very well at the officer level, and hopefully MM Robinson will be able to carry the torch forward and do a good job this year.
Can they beat the likes of the Hamilton schools?
Oh, I think if I was to, again, be a czar-like individual and make a prediction here.
A gambling-like man?
No. I would guess that it might be Glendale that comes out of Hamilton to take on MM Thursday up at Mountain Arena, and it'll be more of a conventional opponent for them as opposed to the style of play that you saw here this afternoon with St. Thomas Aquinas.
Glendale has some good players as well. The Fox 40 player of the game, my selection, Clint, Willie Perry, who, if you go by our tabulation, had the hat trick today, helped lead the Rams to victory.
Seemed to be the Johnny on the spot, but you have to take a look at maybe the 3 stars in the Halton Championship, and Goodchild was equal to the task most of the time when the puck was sent in on him. He made a couple of very key saves late in the game. And how about Tim Lebanich, who risks his body, the likes of the Stadola brothers. You have 2 Stadolas trying to run you all game. You're the anchor of the defense, and I think he stood strong and was certainly, I kept seeing number 24 in my eye.
Mike Bush at the other end, Czar, played an outstanding game for the Raiders, and you can't fault him for the loss.
No, he made several key saves for them, kept them in the game quite often, and if it wasn't for the fact that Aquinas really wasn't the kind of team that create good, strong scoring opportunities in the MM zone, they had to look for quick turnovers, mistakes, errors on the defensive core from the Rams to put the puck in the net, and they took advantage of some power play opportunities. Yes, the Bush played a very strong game for them, and otherwise the score could have been considerably higher, I really think.
Czar, thanks for joining us. We know for you it's a bit of a bittersweet pill to come and sit here and watch it from this location rather than being behind the bench.
Well, we'll get them next year.
As always, Coach Bob Williamson, our thanks to him. And Clint, the month of March Madness continues here on TV 23 as we cover several high school championship contests, and the Halton Hockey Final traditionally kicks it off in fine fashion.
Well, Steve, we now move into the indoor facility of the J.M. Porter Athletic Auditorium. We've already talked about the Raiders being in the junior final along with the perennial favorites, the Pearson Patriots. It should be exciting. The same fans, rowdy Aquinas fans, will be making a lot of noise in search again for a Halton championship, and the senior matchup should be outstanding with the likes of BR representing Milton, and I'm not quite sure who slipped in through. We still got games to play for the semifinals.
Exactly. So, like we say, March Madness will continue here on TV 23. Plan to be with us. Lots of action still ahead.